Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Vobes show. Sorry, I had a bit of a muck up there. I don't know what was going on. But we're now live, and I thought I'd do an impromptu Vobe show this evening. I was sitting around, nothing to do. Happened to put my nice new silk shirt on and my jacket that got the cufflinks on here. I don't know if you can see those. There we are. All shiny and jolly. And I thought, well, got nothing else better to do. Why don't I do a Vobe show? And here am I. And you'd been very good, all of you out there in Vobland, so I figured, I ought to talk to the masses, which is great. Now, let's first of all make sure that the masses are out there and that they can see me, which would be very nice, which would be good, on this rather cold, horrible and nasty Monday evening. It's the 30th of September as I record this, 2019. But don't worry, there's nothing on the telly, there's nothing on social media other than my very good self, so sit back, kick off and enjoy yourselves. Tonight is Ask the Vobes Anything. You can ask whatever you like. We will be doing another Vobe show on Wednesday with the lovely Julia. So, and we will have a new What's in the Box, ladies and gentlemen, a new What's in the Box. Then the lovely Elaine Brazier has already informed me that the next What's in the Box is already on its way, which is superb. So, the lovely Julia's out there. Hello to you. Anne Osborne, very nice to see you. Joe Merchant is there. Daniel, hello Daniel. Linda Kane, she says, you spoil us for another show. But Nigel Sadler says, but you are here on a Monday using here as opposed to here spellings. Fiona Cooper says, that was a surprise. I do like to surprise you from time to time, ladies and gentlemen. I think you're worth it. You're all wearing Harmony hairspray, so you must be worth it. Is she or isn't she? Maybe she is, maybe she isn't. Who knows? Cool jacket, thank you very much. This isn't my new jacket. This is my, I've had this for a while, actually, about 5 years. But thank you very much. It's very kind of you. My jacket, my new jacket, my new jacket, by the way, will be in tomorrow's video without the backpack. So I completely agree with you, Nigel. You watched the show that went out today when we were at Poynings. And it's horrible wearing a jacket and then having to wear a haversack on the back. It's just dreadful. You look suave. Thank you very much. We are going to be upping the quality of the show, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be looking suave. I've already spoken to the lovely Julia and I said, you have got to make sure that I look brilliant. And I've got to make sure that she looks beautiful. And together we were going to snappy up our dress sense, ladies and gentlemen. My nice shirt, Mr. Vobes. Thank you very much, Andrew. Very kind of you. Mr. Richard Suggett is out there, says he's looking very dapper. One's got to try, you see. We've got to get a cut above everybody else, which is the aim. Jacket looks great on you. Thank you very much. This is an old jacket I bought in Shropshire, actually. About, as I say, 5 years ago. It's not the new jacket, but I love the lining. Look at that. It's got like little, I don't know what they are. Ferns. They're little ferns. You can't see them, but that is what they are. I'll just get my collar up better, which is good. Paul Smith says, good evening to you. Joe says, nothing much happening. Lots of stuff going on there. Robert Croser, Deputy Head, look suave. Thank you very much, Robert. Very kind of you. Glenn Johnson says, you got my jacket on. Yeah, I nicked it from you. Sorry about that. Did you guys know it was windy today, Lara? Yeah, we had noticed. Oh, by the way, I'm just getting a note up here. It says, please use a keyframe frequency of 4 seconds or less. Currently, keyframes are not being sent often enough. I don't know how you do that. It might mean that there's a few hiccups in here. I've got to try and work out how you do all that, but I'm not pressing a button to change it now because we're in the middle of the show, which will be great. On the show tonight, ladies and gentlemen, a bit of Roman Tesserae. Yes, a taste of Britain. Where are you? And I'll tell you what the taste of your place is. We're going to be changing the calendar today because it's the last day of September and the 1st of October starts tomorrow. So, and the 1st of October is good for me because it means very soon we're going on a canal boat. So I'm going to change this old picture, which has Dumpman and the very lovely Richard Vobes in it. Getting pinged on my phone. I'm not quite sure what that's all about. And also postcards. Got some lovely old postcards from, I believe, from Tony and Darren, who gave them to me some time ago, and I thought it would be quite interesting to look at them because they've got words on the back of them. But before we get to all that, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin has just announced that he is here, which is great. What else have we got? I got a tie you can have, says Glenn. Thanks very much. I quite like an open shirt. I don't want to look too formal. I don't want to look like a newsreader after all, but it'd be interesting to see what the tie is. I never say no to things, which is why I've got so much clutter. But anyway, on Anne Osborne says, what happened to the runner beans? What do you mean the runner beans? They ran off. Oh yeah, the runner beans. Yeah, that's true. The Richard Suggett and Dave Ford are supposed to be growing, and sometime in September we were supposed to find out who had the longest. In actual fact, I have to announce that mine was at least 24 inches. But I may not be talking about the runner beans. Nigel says, curious, my chat is not working. Oh, that's a shame. I can see it there. Kevin saying hello to people. Dean Cooper says, very smart. Thank you very much. Everyone's saying, Richard, you could have made an effort tonight. Tonight, I'm in my slovenly Monday kicking off your slippers mode. Glenn says, I can sell you some keyframes. That's very nice. Key fobs would be very good. Joe Merchant says, cool. When are you canaling, Richard? We will be away from the 5th of October, ladies and gentlemen, from Saturday coming, and we will be doing live shows from the canal boat. We may do live bits at different intervals, but we'll try and do something live at some point. I don't know what it will be like. I have no idea. Got to plan all of that because we'll be in a canal boat and we're not really going to take all our lights and everything. I might take some of the lights, actually, thinking about it, but I don't want to take too much nonsense. But we may do lives in the daytime when it's light, and also you'll be able to see the canal and you'll see the boats. Otherwise, it's kind of, what's the point? So that would be good. I will remind you, Richard, in order, how has your day been? My day's been very good. Today I was in Byworth, and it was worth a lot, so I bought one. Very nice place. Lots of, sandstone houses with tiled roofs. Beautiful places. There's a nice pub there. I forget the name of it. The Black Cat, the Black Dog, the dog with no cats, the cat with a missing eye, the legless rabbit, something like that. I can't remember. Richard will be coralling. Yes, coralling, not corralling. Coralling in the canal. I will try, yeah. I will try that. I've got to drink lots of liquid because I still have this throat infection and I don't want that to get worse. So I have a cup of tea. Do you know, here's a funny thing. You know I've got an Essie, an Ironheart, a wood-burning stove in the kitchen, a range, you might call it. There is, and you might not believe this, but this is absolutely true. There is a difference to a cup of tea made from a boiling kettle, electric, to a kettle that has been on my range. I don't know why. I don't know how that is possible, but it seems to stay warmer longer. Can you believe that? It's true. It really is. This is piping hot. I made it this morning. Don't know how that works. Kevin says, Mr. Suggett has always got an excuse. What's Mr. Suggett on about then? He says, my beans got blown over a week before the harvest date. Funnily enough, we've not heard from Dave Ford about these beans, have we? I think he's probably lost his. But anyway, we'll find out, no doubt, in due course. Is that a Freudian slip, Mr. Suggett? Probably. He's always slipping on his Freudians. If you leave a Freudian on the floor, you're bound to slip on it and hit the door. It's a well-known fact. A lot of people know that. Dean Cooper says a matching tie would be England in one. Oh yes, there we go. So what would that be? A white tie. A white tie down there be red, white, and blue. Be lovely, wouldn't it? Could have thought of something more imaginative, Mr. Suggett. Yeah, he could have done. That's true. After all, you could have climbed up your beanstalk and got the golden egg. That would have been useful. Dean says, it's read Dean's, I'm home alone. I fitted a new kitchen light and hoovered the stairs. Rock and roll. That's Glenn Johnson. Home alone and doing the chores. What's yours? Chores, which is great. Strange, but true. So there we are. Now, should we change this first? I think I'll change the calendar first of all. So as we saw, there we are with the lovely Dumpman accompanying me in this one. So be prepared for a shock. As only Nigel Sadler knows what's coming up. And actually, oh, very nice. Very, very nice. I can't actually turn that over because I've got a funny pin thing in the spiral. Hang on a minute. I'll just get that pin thing out so I can hang it back on the wall. I'm all twisty twirvy here. Twist. That's better. There we go. Are you ready for this, ladies and gentlemen? Are you ready for this? Here it is. Ta-da! Yes. Here we go with lovely Paul Couchman, the lovely Julia, and myself at, of course, the what's it called? That house, Regency Town House. How could I forget? The Regency Town House in Brunswick Square, Hove, actually. So that's very nice, isn't it? See if I can just quickly whack this thing back in and then hang it on the wall. We'll see. There we go. It should come back onto the wall over here. It means I've got to get up for a second. There we go. Marvellous. Ah. That looks good up there, doesn't it? Can you see it? I don't know if you can see it. All right, maybe I haven't. Oh, yes, there it is. It's up there. Great. Well, it's... yeah, well, it doesn't matter. Sorry, I'm getting feedback from two different places, and they're completely confusing. Kevin says, me to Glenn, I'm at home alone. Oh, night, Elijah. Sleep well, says Linda Kane. Oh, is Julia saying that Elijah is going to bed? Elijah says good night. Elijah, good night. Look after yourself. I hope you're going to bed. Do you know, Elijah and his dad went camping the other day, which was very nice. Good job they went when they did go, because we've had a lot of wind and a lot of rain, and the last thing that you want is your tent pole falling over. You want to make sure your tent pole is fully erect at all times so that you can keep the canvas on the top. So make sure you do that. That would be good. Wow, says Joe. Yeah, you've got to make sure your tent pole is fully proud and standing to attention. Handsome photo. Yeah, we dressed up, didn't we, in that one? Oh, no, not that one. Well, we did dress up. Obviously, we dressed up. I was thinking of the time when we dressed up in all the Regency costumes. That was great fun. We should do that again. We've got to go back to Paul Couchman and do another video with cooking something. And I think we should do that, all of us, in costume. That would be nice. We should then all be dressed up in costume, assisting him cooking. I think that would be more fun, actually, if we were to assist, the lovely Julia and I, excuse me, and even maybe little Joseph, were assisting in, cooking up a concoction of something, which would be good. Emily Champion has arrived, which is rather good. Thank you. Nice to see you. Claire Lee, she says, I never got a notification. I'm sorry, it's the world's best kept secret. This is an impromptu show. Let me just have a slurp here. What's under the desk? He's got shorts on. That's right. I have got shorts on. Hang on. Let me just push that down a bit. There we are. That's nice. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. I've got some postcards here. This is from Tony and Darren, who I'm going to see tomorrow night, actually, funnily enough, in a pub. Don't worry. I'm only drinking orange juice and lemonade because I don't drink alcohol anymore. Well, rarely. Sometimes I do. Now, these were given to me. It's quite interesting, these old postcards. This is a postcard here. I just want to show you this, really, because I've got nothing else to do. From, I think, 1910. Here we go. Look at that. Now, anybody know where that is? It's a church. I know it's very small. And it's got some writing on the back here. It says, May the 20th, I thought you would like this to keep. From A. Claydon. It's got words on the back. You probably can't see that terribly well. It does actually say in little writing on there where it is, if anyone can guess. Nice flowers behind you, Richard. Thank you very much. They're plastic flowers. They've been on the show ever since we've started. So observation skills, not very good. Kenneth Friend says, posted earlier. Yeah, good evening, blah, blah, blah. So I'll come back to that one. This is a postcard, ladies and gentlemen. And I was going through this collection of postcards, and it's just a picture of an old picture of a woman looking very sullen, sitting there on her chair. It may well be somebody's mother, but it is a genuine postcard. But it doesn't tell you anything about it and who she is or whatever. But it's old. So I thought that I'd show you that. Here is an even nicer one. It's interesting because it's got the address on the back here. And I'd be very tempted to see if you could find the address and knock on the door and see if the person who sent this is still there or the addressee is still there. So this was sent on sometime in August. What's that little thing? Sometime in August. The 18th of August, in fact, in 1905, this postcard, 1905. It's great, it's got the thing, and it's care of Mrs. Penfolds in Stenning, apparently, this one. It says, glad to see you have arrived. Safe, can't read this writing. Safe what? Safe something or other. What does that say? It's very tiny, screwed up writing. One something from somewhere, keeping all the better for the holiday. M something, the entertainment on Tuesday. Enjoyed it. Went somewhere to... Yeah, I can't read that one. Here's another one. See if you know where this is. This is related to the first place. See if you know where that is. If anyone can get that. They used to print private photos on postcards. Oh, did they, Linda? That's interesting. So this is some woman somewhere around the turn of, or in the early 10s or 20s. We don't know who she is. It's a shame, isn't it? So this is, again, care of Miss Penfold in Stenning. And this one is easier to read. It says... My dearest Auntie Emmy, I'm so glad you have not forgotten me. I'm having nice weather now. Something about the severe thunderstorms this week. Was home quite well. Heaps of love. Chrissy. So there we are. Nice postcard. I won't go through all of them. Don't worry. There's loads of them here. I just thought it's curious, isn't it? The little touch of something. What about this? What do you make of this? This is an embroidered postcard. Have you ever seen an embroidered postcard before? It says on there, United for Liberty, and it's got the British flag. It looks like the French flag. I think the Italian flag. It must be after the First World War. Do you think that it's after the First World War? Very interesting. Another one here. What does that say? It says, My dear Chrissy, I thought you would like one of the house where I am working. I have some money. I have something of there at home. Blah, blah, blah. This is to Miss Birch, the post office, Brighton Road, Worthing. I don't know where that place is. Does it actually say on there? No, it doesn't say where that place is, but it looks like it could be in Worthing. It's a place behind a brick wall. And you'll never guess this one. Hang on a minute. Oh, this is a good one. This is you said about postcards being personal. Here, look at this. This is a postcard with soldiers from the First World War on it, and it's dated. It said Art Gallery Studios, developing and printing in Torquay. Sadly, there is no date. But rest assured, they're all dead. It's charming, isn't it? And this is an interest. This is a field service postcard. A field service postcard, which I assume is to do with the army. And it's got an address on here, Miss G. Birch or something, 7 Brighton Road, Worthing. Field postcard. And what it's got on the back, I don't know if you can see that, it's quite fascinating. On the back, it's pre-filled out, and you cross out the sentiment that doesn't apply, which is very odd. So the choices are, I am quite well, I have been admitted to hospital, and I'm going on well, or I've been admitted to hospital and hope to be discharged soon. Or you can have the message, I've been sent down to base, or I have received your letter dated September, whatever it is. Letter follows at first opportunity. I've received no letter from you. And then you sign it and date it. This is signed 20th of the 8th, 1916. So a wartime postcard, and they've crossed out. So the message they get is, I'm quite well. I received your letter on the 10th of September. And this is written 10 days later on the 12th. Wait a minute. September is 9th, isn't it? And this is dated the 20th of August. So unless it was like 11 months later, that's most peculiar. Anybody know anything about that? What they are? Let's just have a look at it. My dad's got them from World War One, says Robert Croser. Oh, that's interesting. George's dad collects old postcards. One of the many convalescent homes. Ah, is that where it is? My microwave just pinged. Oh, well done. That's nice to know. All these postcards are obviously from Henry. Henry, are you going to read a bedtime book, Richard? Yeah, probably when I go. I'm reading an interesting book about Churchill at the moment, written by Boris Johnson. So that's interesting. My auntie has postcards, says Kevin, sent from the front in World War One, from her father to his parents, my grandparents, and they are all head and shoulders of beautiful women in colour. How exciting. Are they English women, or were they women in the country that he was from? Henry still uses a telegraph. Which Henry are we talking about? Got a couple of them, says Linda Kane. Yes, a bottle of Ribena. Kevin, weren't they sent from Grandad? That's still piping hot, that tea, by the way. So, yeah, absolutely fascinating. Lovely to get these old collection of postcards. A lot of them are actually a whole collection to Miss Birch. Don't know where they got them from, but they're prolific postcard senders. So I've got all those. If you've got an unusual postcard, then do scan it or take a photograph and send it to me and we'll show it on the show. That would be interesting. Very interesting. Love all that. Now, I want to know what part of the country you're from, because I'm going to tell you what you should be tasting. I've got this book here called The Taste of Britain. From the Lever of Gooseberry to Lovage Cordial and the Bar of Birth to Bertha Chaps, Britain is populated with fine regional foods that deserve special recognition. This delightful compendium of the unique local produce from Britain's orchards, dairies, harbours, distilleries and artisan bakeries helps you locate much-loved regional specialities and unearths some wonderful and rare gastronomic gems that have been passed down the centuries. The Taste of Britain. I've had this book for a long time. It's been sitting on my shelf. And only the other day, when Kevin and Cynthia popped round for a cup of tea, I think it was yesterday actually, I pulled it off the shelf to have a look at it, and I thought that'd be interesting. So let's have a look. Who is not around from these parts in Sussex, where I am? What have we got? Kevin's rambles. Richard, probably French women, as that's where he was sent. Oh right, pictures of French women. He clearly hadn't time to meet many of these French women if he was serving in the trenches, surely. Claire says, my dad collects postcards from the old days with writing on the back. It is interesting, isn't it? Especially if you've got like a bit of correspondence. People's lives, real lives, are fascinating. Lara says, I'm from southwest London. Right, southwest London. Henry's Adventures has just turned up. He says, I've got some unusual postcards in my loft of my parents' home. I'll try and dig some out for next time I'm home. Yeah, only if you remember. It'd be interesting, wouldn't it? I don't want you to send in the postcards because you'll lose them. So just take a picture and email them to me. Richard@vobes.com is the address. So now, hang on. What, South East London, did you say? Let's have a look and see. Southwest England. Well, that'd be the south. Southeast England is about the only region that we can go up to. Mark Donny McLeod says, good morning. As of the Taste of Britain, I eat nothing with blood in it. Do local things are not for me. Eccles cakes, tripe, black pudding, the lovely parkin. I don't know what the lovely parkin is. So in the south, where are we? Southeast England. Is there anything in London? Wait a minute. I'm just looking to see if London gets a special mention. No. Well, that's just a shame, isn't it? All right. So what would you say? Southeast London? Southeast England? Let's have a look. Chapter 4. Let's see if I can find chapter 4. Chapter 4. Does it give you? It doesn't even give you a page number, which is a shame. Now, how are you going to find that then? East Anglia. Wait a minute. Where's East Anglia? Southeast England. Here we go. Is that Southeast England? Yeah, Southeast England. I'm just looking for Southeast England to see if there's oysters and whelks. Sussex cattle. Here's a good one for those in Sussex. Sussex cattle. Sussex provide compact, fine bone carcasses. Charming, that is. Which have a dressed weight of 250 to 270 kilograms. The flesh has an excellent sweet flavour, well marbled, with a fine grain, extremely tender. When they say marbled, do they mean with bits of fat in it? I can't bear fat. It's horrible. That's Sussex cattle, by the way. You can get a Sussex chicken. This is a heavy bird, about 3 kilograms, dressed in weight at 16 to 20 weeks, with a broad breast. It's a broad breast, moonlit neat tonight, Mrs. Wright. You're having a Sussex chicken. Yeah, apparently you are. Well flavoured with white flesh and a juicy, succulent texture. There are several varieties distinguished by this colour and their plumage, with pale feathers generally being favoured in the last 100 years. But that's not where Lara is. Sorry, Lara, I'm still trying to find anything that says... No, then it goes over to Norfolk. Oh, that's East Anglia. Oh, I see. East Anglia. East Midlands. So not much for the southeast of England then. Or are they calling all of that in the same... I wonder if they're calling that all in the same area. I should have looked at this a bit more clearly before we started the show. But, you know, East Midlands, well, that's not southeast, is it? Anyway, let's see. It's shush, don't mention the north, says Robert. What's that? Let's see where Cumbria... They must have got the Cumberland sausage in there, mustn't they? Let's have a look. It's a shame they don't give you... Why they don't give you easy ways to find stuff. Where are we looking? North, never eat shredded wheat. So you must be Northwest England, I'm guessing. Northwest England, chapter 10. Cumbria. Let's have a look. I'm going to see if there's an index. Oh, there's an index here. See what it says about Cumberland sausages. Proper, real Cumberland sausages. We had Cumberland sausages, didn't we, Robert, when I came up to see you? Great big long things. Like a limp tent pole. Let's have a look here. Cumberland sausages. Cumberland. C-U. Oh, Cumbria. Here we go. There's a lot of Cumbrian stuff. See if any of this makes sense to you, okay? Let's go to 200... What is it? 121. 121, please. 121. Wait a minute. 121. 122. Cumberland sausage. Oh, here we go. Right, okay. Try this. Have you ever heard of... this is Cumberland ham. An unsmoked cured ham for cooking. The skin is a pale cream gold. The lean, deep, translucent red with raw and mid-red to pale pink when cooked. The fat is white. You ever heard of that? They've got the Cumberland sausage next door. Here it is. A long, unlinked, uncooked, fresh pork sausage. What do you mean uncooked? You've got to have it cooked, surely. Typically, 85 to 95% of the filling is pork. Oh, well, that's interesting. Pork taste, generally highly spiced with black pepper, spice and herbs. I don't know quite why it's not cooked. Cumbria air-dried ham. Air-dried. Herdwick Macon ham. Is that Cumbrian? This must all be up north somewhere. Northwest England. Tripe and pressed beef. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff on there. Let's have a look, see what the people are saying. Mark Selwood says, have they managed to keep your office bound all week? Cheers, Mr. Vobes. Just cracked open a bottle of old speckled hen paled ale. Cheers to you, sir. That would be nice. I'm sure Henry is the quad. He is. And everyone's talking to themselves. He's just up north. Yes, Cumberland sausage. Thank you very much. Lobscouse has its roots in the Viking northwest of Ireland. Does it really? Henry says it's quite the time of year. I only go out on tours a couple of times a year. The rest of my adventures are weekends during annual leave. Good for you. Yes, you have it in sandwiches. What do you have in sandwiches? That air-cooled ham or whatever it was called. TVS is on a Monday. TVS used to be broadcast down at Southampton, didn't it? Oh, the Vobes show, TVS. Oh, yes. Sorry. Yeah, what did TVS used to stand for? The Television South in the old days. Oh, yeah, there we go. Mark is asking if it's just an impromptu show today, Mark. I was just a bit bored. I thought I'd do a show, and here I am doing the show. Robert says, very Cumberland. Oh, yes, very Cumbrian. air-dried ham. Do you have any air without water in it up in Cumbria? Because I know it rains a lot. That's all I'm saying. Don't take it personally. We got a lot of rain down here today. Well, you wouldn't eat it raw, says Dean Cooper. Yeah, but isn't all sausages raw then? I mean, that seemed a pointless thing to say. Pressed beef, says Glenn Johnson. Yeah, anybody know what pressed beef is? That would be interesting. Mark says, I go to Taunton for work on Wednesdays. What food is Taunton famous? Is it famous for tortoises? I do believe that they take the tortoise, they grill them upside down for 5 minutes, they pull out the legs and they put them under a sun lamp for 20 minutes. They boil them in a pot of jelly and then they salt them with salt from saltpeter. I believe that's what the Taunton people eat. I may be right, I may be wrong. You can't but help but sing a song. And if you know the answers to that, send them on a postcard and we'll scan them in and read them at the end of the week. Linda says Sussex pond pudding. Oh, yes, very tasty and very healthy. So Sussex pond pudding is a delight. You get a pudding. It's usually a plum pudding. You remove all the stones and then you immerse it in an old-fashioned Sussex pond. It's got to be a pond that was dug originally by shepherds up on the South Downs. That's very important. You leave it there so that the leeches can get hold of it and suck out all the horrible stuff that you don't want, like the plums, and you're just left with the pudding. Then 6 weeks later, you pull them out in a small net and boil them up for about 20 minutes in a large demijohn. Once you've done that, you should then have a wonderful pudding that you can put in front of your guests who will have very glum faces after they've eaten it. That, my friends, is a truer statement than you've never heard. Andy says, yes, Mark, haggis is magnificent and lobscouse is Scandinavian. I didn't realise it was Scandinavian, but I'm good about that. Richard is missing taking the mickey out of me, which is why I'm so bored. I had such a lovely evening yesterday taking the mickey out of Kevin. You may have noticed in the Poynings video, of course, Kevin was doing his usual thing of stating the bleeding obvious. He does have a habit of that, or he has a habit of repeating whatever it is that I've just said. So if I happen to say, there's a castle, look, that's surrounded by trees and covered in ivy, 2 seconds later he'll say, oh, look at that tree covered in ivy and surrounded by trees. I've just said all that. I've just said that. You're just repeating what I've said. It's a common thread when we're out and about. Or otherwise, he has this lovely ability. It's amazing ability, practiced for many, many years, I can assure you. I don't know why I'm holding my hand out here. And he will state the bleeding obvious and talk about, when you're in a church, there's a lot of old history, or just history. It doesn't have to be old history, because most history is pretty old. There's a lot of history associated with this church. Yes, that's true. It is a church of some age. So, sorry about that, Kevin. I must try and take the mickey out of you more often, but I was being nice to you today because you bought us that lovely meal yesterday at the Devil's Dyke. If ever you've not been up there on the Devil's Dyke, they've got this nice restaurant up there. You can go in. Very crowded yesterday. I wouldn't go on a day when the wind is blowing and the rain is going and you think no one in their right mind is likely to go out on weather like that. Who would go up to Devil's Dyke on a miserable Sunday when there's no point going to the view or looking? You'd be surprised, ladies and gentlemen. You'd be absolutely surprised. The World and his brother was there. We had to wait nearly an hour for our food, but they were very nice. It was very nice food, actually. What is Claire Leach says, can't find the book. What book are you looking for? I had a recipe in the National Trust book for Sussex Pond. I've just told you how it works, Sussex Pond pudding. I can't remember now exactly, but I just told you a few seconds ago. Rewind it and you'll know. Something about pulling the legs off terrapins or something. Kevin, I love the way that you repeat what Richard says Mark Selwood. Well, it's beautiful, isn't it? The way he does that. Kevin says, I'll look it out and PM you, which is nice. There we go. See, I've done a lovely service. Now, Sussex Pond Pudding will be pinging its way across the world to all sorts of people who are interested. Claire Leach is calling out, wench! Wench, yes, I need this mug refilled. I still got a little bit of a sore throat here, so I may curtail tonight's show. I may not go on for the whole hour, although I've been going on for a while, because I don't want to ruin up my... I don't want to ruin up my throat, by the way. Fiona, please can you subscribe to... What are you asking, Daniel? Oh, to your YouTube channel, presumably. Glenn Johnson is laughing at the word wench. Actually, the girl who was our... What would you call her? Waitress. That's the technical term. The waitress who served us yesterday. When we said, "Oh, well, when we're ready to order our food, how shall we call you?" She said, "Just call me wench." Whereupon, for the rest of the evening, somebody with a loud voice, who wasn't Kevin and the other only male in the party, which I think was me, was going, "Wench, wench." And when people looked at me, I just happened to say, "Bench. There's something wrong with the bench. I need to have my hench man here. My hench." Anyway, she did eventually come. She's a very nice young lady. We left her a tip. Never to serve us again. Mark Selwood says, "Only sounds right coming from me." Well, that's true. I'm so sorry. It's beautiful, Richard, isn't it? It's Mousel, Richard. Mousel. No, it's Mousehole. No, it's Mousel, Richard. But it's beautiful, isn't it? It is, isn't it? We love the Cornish burr, Mark. You are a star. I'm looking forward to you coming up, actually, to the Vobes Towers and staying over here, and we'll take you to... I've got this lovely little chamber that I've been working on. Harry Houdini tried it, actually. We drop it into the river for about 2 days, and then we pull it up and we see if it's still beautiful. That's just a possible idea. Robert says, "Did you shout 'excuse me' very loudly?" No, but I did tell the others about that, and Julia was going, "Oh no, it's so embarrassing." Yeah, excuse me. The lovely Robert there is referring to a time when we'd been up to see the sycamore gap, the sycamore tree in the gap that they used in the film Sherwood of Robin, or whatever it was called, in the big major film with the famous film star who was in it, who wasn't Denzel Washington, but the other one who played God once, and somebody else who was, I think, Robin Hood in I've Got Tights On, or whatever. It was wasn't the Men in Tights version. Anyway, that doesn't matter. And there's a little pub just down the road from Sycamore Gap. There's nothing else. Oh, and a brewery. And there's nothing else for miles. And you're in the middle of absolutely nowhere. And we go into this pub, and there's about 3 other people in the pub and 4 waitresses. And we go down one end of this pub, and we're sitting there looking at our meals, think, "Oh, we'll order this and we'll order that." And we're waiting for someone to come and serve us. And do you know what? We were waiting for bloody ages. And in the end, we could see them. They were standing down the far end, just nattering to each other, these waiters and waitresses, at the bar. And I'd been putting my hand up and clicking and waving. I'd got up and lay down on the floor and had fake blood pumping out of my heart. I'd revved a motorbike through the thing and going, "Please, can I have some food?" And nothing. So in the end, whilst everybody else was being ever so polite, I just went, "Excuse me." And there was this huge hush right over the restaurant as all the heads suddenly went and peered at us. Robert, the lovely Cheryl, and Julia were going, "Oh no, this is embarrassing." And I said, "Can we have some service, please?" And then eventually they just looked at us there was at least another 10 seconds as they were leaning nonchalantly on the bar going, "Yeah, can I help you?" It was just like that. Kevin says, "I will, Mark, if I'm invited. Only if Kevin joins me." Yes, you can both have the double bed, which would be nice. Dean says, "Thanks, Claire." Kevin's ramble says, Robert shush. And Lara says, "You could make a song with Kevin saying, 'Hello, Richard, Kevin here,' and Mark saying, 'Beautiful, isn't it?'" It's beautiful, isn't it? Hello, Richard. Kevin here. Beautiful, isn't it? Hello, Richard. Hello, Richard. Hello, beautiful. Isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it? Kevin here. Kevin here. It could be a new number one. Sorry, my phone's pinging away. I always bring my phone in case somebody's there to say, hey, Richard, you're not online. Of course, anybody who knows my number is welcome to ring up for the last few minutes in the show and say hello to everybody. If you'd like to ring and you know my number, you're very welcome to ring up and say hello to everybody very briefly. It'll cost you the cost of a phone call. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. Robert was very polite, of course. Yes, that's true. Cynthia Camera is saying Lara, big smile or sticky out tongue or something. And Mark is saying orders drinks bar steward if they're late. Yes, that's very good. We also were discussing, I don't know whether the lovely Elaine Brazier happens to be out there watching either now or in retrospect and then wishing she hadn't. But you may remember some time ago, Elaine, you sent in some tessery and I had not the foggiest idea what it was. Well, Kevin Hall has been a genius and he has built this lovely box and he's got some, oh my God, he's got this special board on the back of it. Now, most people would just think, you know, a bit of board on the back is fine, but not Kevin. Oh no, we've had chapter and verse about how amazing this board is and how you could super glue yourself to it and have a helicopter lift you up and you could be put onto the moon. But as long as you've got this bit of board, which he has a large sheet of it, and he's cut out a small bit that we can use on here, the rest he's going to build a beach hut, apparently, with, or a studio of his own, I think he said. Anyway, we had chapter and verse last night, about 3 hours of this, whatever it is, backing board or something, telling us about how you can use it for bathrooms and kitchens, and you can put bodies in it and have them use it for coffins. Apparently it's been really good. Not so good when you come to burn them, of course, but it's almost indestructible. Anyway, he gave us chapter and verse about this. When we finally woke up, ladies and gentlemen, he was still talking. But he has taken a small chunk, he spared a small chunk of this amazing super duper special panelling board, which will last forever, and so don't put it into landfill. And we put out the mosaic here in a very special way. I don't know whether you can see that there. And all we now need to do is either get some resin, which we're going to shove in there, or some adhesive, and then put some, what are the other stuff, whatever it's called, that you not render, the stuff you put on the top of tiles, whatever it is, that fill the cracks on the top there. Have it all nice and level. I tell you what, it's bloody heavy. But Elaine, if you're watching, nothing is thrown away in this house, and we're going to make this, and actually it could be a nice resting thing for a kettle or a anything hot could go on there. Hot curry would be nice. So Kevin Hall's been absolutely brilliant with that. So there we are. I expect Kevin is now about to come over and thump me one. I've had another little message. Hang on, is that a message there saying, Dean Cooper, sorry I missed that, cooking my tea. Oh, well, don't worry about that. Nobody's ringing. Claire Leach says Richard's number is 01243 567 801. 0124. That's not actually my number. If you ring that, I don't know what you get. My number is 555 912 9122 396 481 4881 448111 41881 181, then 18 the other, and then by the end of it they'd all eaten all of them. Yeah, that's my number. If you want to try and ring that, just remember to start with the area code 555. Coming alive. Julia. Oh, here we go. We've got a call coming into the show now, ladies and gentlemen. I wonder who the hell this could be. Hello, caller. Turn your bloody stream down, for goodness sake. Every time you ring in, you do the same.
Do what?
Ah, now I can be polite to him. Hello, caller.
Relentless. Someone said just now that someone is relentless taking the mickey out of me.
Oh, you let me know who they are. I'll go over and join them.
Good evening, Richard.
Good evening, Michael. Kevin.
How are you?
Not taking the Michael at the moment.
Of course you're not.
No. Everyone's loving the tessery, by the way.
Excellent.
Yes.
It's It's called backer board.
Oh yes, backer boards. That's right. I
Shall I tell you all about it again?
Well, we're running out of time actually. Yeah, sorry about that. Backer board. I wonder where it got that name. Is it used at the back of things?
It could be.
Yeah, it's getting my back up already, but I have to say it's very nice at the back of the tesserae board.
It will be great at the back of the tesserae board.
Yes. I've got a question for you, sir.
Go on then.
Did you enjoy today's video that I spent all last night editing to about 3 o'clock in the morning that we filmed yesterday afternoon at Poynings?
I really enjoyed it, especially the bit about George Washington.
and his old ancestors. There's a lot of history there, of course.
There's a lot of history in George Washington.
Yeah, and churches in general.
And churches.
Yeah.
And we've been in a few recently.
We certainly. In fact, we weren't true to form that time because we usually leave churches in a ruinous state.
Well, you do.
Yes. And often we get spooked by very strange noises coming down the bell tower.
That is very true. That was very weird.
That was. Uh-oh. Nigel Sadler is saying, hello, Kevin, it's the Chuckle Brothers again. To me, to you, to me, to you.
To you, yes.
Blimmin'.
Yeah, we've been there, done that, got a T-shirt for it.
Oh, it looks like Robert Crosser tried to ring, but you beat him to it because he's got the engaged tone.
Well, I felt sorry for you, Richard, because no one was ringing in.
Yeah, well, this is it. I don't really want to hand my number out to all and sundry. That's the problem, you see.
It's only special people.
Yes, that's right. Well, those with special needs.
Yes.
Those that need my number must be special.
Now, can I just have a word with you about one thing?
Oh, yes, here we go.
Yeah, but you were saying you've still got a bad throat.
Yes.
And you were sitting next to me when we were having a meal yesterday, and you were breathing all over me.
Yes. Have you got it?
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you.
Are you feeling rough?
I'm always feeling rough, Richard.
Oh, what's her name? What's her name? This bit of rough.
Oh, I can't reveal those sort of things.
No, of course not. Dear, oh dear.
I know.
Glenn Johnson says, Richard, phone me. I'm not paying. Charming, isn't it?
I don't know. Whatever next.
I don't know either. I can tell the ladies and gentlemen out there, and you, Kevin, whilst we're wasting your phone bill, that we have a mystery supporter of the Vobes show now who is building for the show a super duper computer and also has got built in a special, I don't know what you call it. I don't know if it's a camera changing pad, but a sort of mixing pad that gamers use and other streamers, as they call it, to put in whizzy graphics and to put in extra bits, which is going to make the show super duper in the future.
All right.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to just assure people there will be more shows coming up during the winter when it's cold and miserable outside. Don't worry, it'll be even colder and more miserable inside.
So have we got to get stuck into the other room of yours then and get that sorted out?
No, I can't. My books were not fit in the back room.
But you didn't see the comments between Linda Kane and myself today.
Oh no, I haven't been on the Book of Faces yet.
About your shelves in your studio.
Oh yeah, what about them?
Take them down and put others up with smaller gaps between them. Instead of having two there, you could have about 4 or 5.
Well, that would be nice. I'll have to see if my personal painter and decorator and shelf putter upper has time with all the other work that I've set him.
Well, yes, I'll have to have I'll see if I can find out who he is.
Yeah, he's a mystery man. He's promised to do my stairs, and I've never seen him since.
Well, that's because he's waiting for you to take some action yourself first.
Oh, yes, that's true. I've got to move that stuff by my front door.
Yes, so he can't paint round it.
Yeah, that's true. It will get done. It will get done.
I'm sure it will, sir.
When I'm back from the canal holiday.
Yes, I need to come down and measure you up.
Yeah, 6'10", or is it 10'6"? I don't know.
5 foot nothing.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Shrinking every day, apparently.
Yes, indeed. We all get shorter as we get older.
Yeah, you talk for yourself, mate. But my doctor assures me there's nothing wrong in that department. Thank you.
Yes,
Yeah.
but you do get stretched occasionally.
Yes, that's right. Anyway, on that note,
Yes.
lovely to hear from you. Do take care, and thank you for calling in.
You're welcome, sir.
Yes.
Have a good evening.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm going to gargle with some tonsillitis cream a bit later.
Good idea.
Yes.
Ta-ra, Duck.
Take care, Kevin.
Ta-ra.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Whoops, I've cut him off. Sorry about that, Kevin. I didn't mean to cut you off. But there we are. Somebody was trying to call me, but it was engaged. I don't know who that was. Anyway, there we are. How are we doing? We're 9 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've enjoyed the meagre amount of entertainment value that I've managed to string out of the hat today on a very boring Monday. It's been fun. Let's have a look at the comments. What a duo, says Andy Dalgleish. Thank you very much. Emily Champion says, I've met the real Chuckle Brothers. I wouldn't brag about that. I think, isn't one of them dead now? Or did you go and look in his coffin? Glenn Johnson says, Kev, did you pull? Yes, we've got a dinner date. Oh, no, we had the dinner date last night. That was good. Mark Selwood says, I have Richard's super special number. Oh, yeah. Can I have it back, by the way? I need to... I can't think of a joke for that, actually. Tried. Go. Oh, here we go. Getting a call which costs nothing. Oh, yeah, I forgot about the WhatsApp thing. Here we are. Let's have a look and see. Who can this mystery caller be? Hello?
Hello. This is Mark, isn't it? You all right?
Hello, Mark, isn't it? Up north?
Hello, viewers. How are you? You all right? I'm Ken, isn't it?
It's the lovely Robert Croser.
Hello, viewers.
I'm getting a lot of feedback on this line. A telephone is much easier than the internet, because of course you're using my bandwidth.
Isn't it? Am I using your bandwidth? That's awful, isn't it?
It is.
Hello, Kevin. You all right, mate? How's it going? Yeah. I'll come and do your stairs, mate. No problem at all. That's a terrible impression of Kevin. Hello, Kevin. Have you gone?
He's not here, is he?
Oh, no, he's not.
It's you, Nana. He was on the phone. I had to hang him up to talk to you.
Oh, well, we'd all like to hang Kevin, wouldn't we? Yes. Hello, Kevin. How are you?
How is it up? You're not making much sense, Robert. How are you?
I'm okay, yes. It's very grim up here.
How grim is it?
Very cold.
Is it? It's grim down here.
Extremely cold. Yes, isn't it? Yeah. No, it's extremely cold, but it's not windy like down on the coast there.
When you say extremely cold, what sort of temperatures have you got in centigrade, please?
About 4.
4?
It's about 4. Yep.
Blimey. It was about 16, a heady 16 earlier. I think it went up to 17.
Well, it's not like that now, believe you me, my friend.
Gosh, what's happened? Have you got winter early?
It comes off a brass dinghy.
Oh.
Yeah. We always get it early.
Well, you're up there by the North Pole, aren't you, in Cumbria?
Oh, yes. I mean, it's nearly 9 o'clock at night. We've still got daylight, so how's that?
Have you still got daylight up north?
A bit of it, yeah. It's just disappearing now.
Blimey, there's a good 3 hours there, because it gets dark now, about 6-ish down here on the south coast. That's
about half 8-ish.
Blimey, that's amazing.
Yeah, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Quite amazing, is that?
It's amazing, isn't it? Stop it! Stop it! You must. You mustn't upset the rest of them. That's my job.
No. Yeah, that's your job.
Yeah,
I shall let you go, Richard, because MasterChef's about to come on.
Oh yeah, we mustn't upset MasterChef. Nice to talk to you. We'll be up north again next year, and have no fear.
Jolly good.
Take
Say
care.
hello to the TLJ for me, won't you?
Will do. She's probably listening.
She is. Hello, TLJ.
There you go. All right, take care, Robert.
Bye, Kevin.
There we go. That was the lovely Robert Croser with an identity crisis, ladies and gentlemen. You can't work out which member of our wonderful team of players He really is. But it's always a joy to have on the show. Like anybody on the show, it's great fun. And in the future, I do want to get more guests to appear on here. We like a bit of magic. What's the other? Learn. What's that convoluted way of saying magician? A laundermurdy or something. A launder. Anyway, someone to appear on the show, a bit in a puff of magic would be great. Well, we're coming to the end of this little impromptu load of old nonsense. I've got a thumbnail and a description to write before I go to bed for tomorrow's video, where I'm in Byworth in my lovely, lovely Harris tweed jacket, which I have to say is great. But here's a little test for you. I forgot to do something on my new Harris tweed jacket. Can you work it out what it was? We have another caller in. Let's see who this is. Hello, mystery caller.
What's it all about?
What is...
Alfie!
It's Cilla Black. Hello, Cilla.
Oh, no, I can't do a Cilla impression. No way.
It's the lovely Julia. Hello, lovely Julia. How are you?
Hello, lovely everybody's.
Hello, everybody's lovelies. I mean, what?
I'm phoning to say that, hallelujah, I finally got both boys to sleep.
Oh, well done.
And I've pretty much missed the show, haven't I?
Oh, that's a shame, because you missed the whole business about the camping, and we had this terrible problem with our erecting our tent poles earlier, with all the canvas flapping about. No one wants your tent. I can't speak now.
Oh, nobody wants your tent pole flapping about. Oh, gosh.
Well, no, not in your flats. Anyway, what else have we missed? We missed some Cumberland sausages, the taste of Britain. We've had a little bit of Tesserie. We've had some postcards from the First World War. We've had callers, mystery callers, who I couldn't work out who they were. And I've been drinking a cup of tea, which I cooked up this morning. It's still piping hot and burnt my lips.
And have you been gargling it again?
Yes, I did do a bit of gargling. Actually, whilst you're there, hold on.
God blimey. Oh, here we go.
I wish I could do RV Maria in gargle.
Gargle and sing What's It All About.
What's it all about? Okay, here we go. On the last few minutes of the show, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm actually quite impressed. I don't know about anybody else.
Yes, I don't think I got quite the high key register there, but I was doing my utmost. Everyone's saying hello to you, by the way.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, we've got Cynthia's camera saying hi, Julia. Kevin's Rambles is saying hi. Linda Kane is saying hi. Linda Kane is saying cut the pockets open. No, it isn't that, although I have yet to...
on the jacket.
On the jacket. There is something else in the jacket that people can watch the video tomorrow. You won't have seen it in Poynings because you only saw one angle of me. But in tomorrow's video that I shot today, I was watching the edit and I thought, oh, what a twit. I didn't do beep. So... see if you can spot what it is that on a new...
I'm curious.
Yeah, on a new jacket, there's something that you need to do before you walk out the door. And I had spoken to a couple of people and I felt a complete and utter twerp.
Oh, dear.
Hey-ho.
Well, apparently Glenn has missed the last 10 minutes of the show because the microwave pinged.
Oh, is it a very long ping that lasts 10 minutes and deafens the show? Or is he watching on his microwave?
Maybe.
I think...
Or maybe he just had to get up and go to the microwave away from the watching device.
Oh, I see. As simple as that.
As simple as that.
Oh, right.
But it couldn't have been that, could it?
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting. Lara's saying cut the label off. It's not the label.
Well, because you had a thread hanging off the old sleeve the other day.
Yeah,
cut that off.
It's not the sleeve. People are sort of in the right sort of area, but I don't want to ruin
Tags and labels.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin it. You'll see in tomorrow's show. Hopefully you'll see.
Okie dokie.
So that's that. Anyway, I think I've run out of time.
Well, I wasn't going to remind you, but it is now 2100.
2100, ladies and gentlemen. We are now in the future. So there we are. The lovely Julia and I are hoping to go out in the pouring rain tomorrow to make a video where we don't get out the car. Well, one of us might get out the car and make a complete fool of himself. I don't know which one of us that will be.
No idea. No clue there.
But I'm desperate for a video for Wednesday, so we've got to do something.
Yeah.
As ever.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
As ever, the stress levels will be going through the roof.
It's going to be fun watching you get wet.
Yeah, thanks.
And wetter
Yes.
and wetter.
Yes, thanks. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
What are buddies for, hey?
Yeah, to watch one of them get wetter and wetter and wetter, apparently.
That's right. Anyways, we're just having a phone call. On the show.
Now we're having a phone call on the show. That's right. Anyway, thanks very much for that. I'll let you go. Take care.
Cool. Catch you guys later.
And
Bye.
say goodnight to Joseph and Elijah from all of the audience who have missed them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I will do.
And give Chaz a big kiss from me.
I'll do that in a minute.
Right.
He's just got back in.
Alrighty. Take care and bye
Take
for
care.
now.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So there we are. That was the lovely Mark Selwood all the way, doing a very good Julia impression. So that's nice. Anyway, we come to the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for tuning in on a boring old Monday. Hope I've cheered you up a little bit. Not been on my best behaviour, as ever. And not too many great jokes this evening. But it's nice to get back in front of the blaring lights and look at a camera again and pretend that people like me. So we will be back on Wednesday at 8 o'clock on the Vobes show. Thank you very much for that. Hopefully there will be a video for you to see tomorrow morning if I get the thumbnail and everything done. Check the jacket out. And sorry, just before we go. Best behaviour as ever. And not too many great jokes.
Hi, Richard.
Hello, hello, Mark. You need to turn the volume down on your laptop. Hold on. Smart Selwood here.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Isn't it?
I'm lying on my bed here, looking down, and it's beautiful, isn't it?
Isn't it? Gunpowder, Richard. It's gunpowder.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Mark.
Hello. How are you?
We're fine. I'm very fine. When are you coming up to Worthing to sleep on the floor? I mean, to sleep on the door.
Sleep in the cage.
Yes.
I'm hopefully at the end of the month.
Oh, lovely. Well, give me some dates and I'll make sure I'm busy.
It'd be beautiful.
It would be beautiful, isn't it?
Are you still live?
We are, yeah. You're going out live.
Hi, Anne. Hi, everyone.
There's 30 concurrent viewers, it says. 11 likes, and you're one of them.
Oh, it's been a beautiful show.
Thank you very much.
Well done, Richard.
That's quite all right. We hope to have more phone calls.
Because I'm lying on my bed looking down and it's just beautiful.
What do you mean looking down when you're lying on? If you were looking down, lying on your bed, you must have your face in the pillow.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
It's beautiful.
It is. It's beautiful.
I suppose if you could be looking down the rest of your body... Well, let's not go there, thanks very much.
Stop it from there.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Take care,
Beautiful
Mark.
show.
Thanks for ringing in.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-
Bye.
bye-
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, isn't it? Bye-bye.
Isn't it? It's beautiful.
Yeah, bye. Oh, dear, that's the best Robert Croser impression I've heard for months. Anyway, there we are. That is definitely the end of the show. I'm not answering my phone now, but thank you very much for tuning in. I will see you on Wednesday. I'll see you tomorrow if you look at the Bold Explorer stuff. And if you're a patron, you'll probably get some rambling nonsense through the ear hole. You've probably had enough of me by now. So thank you so much for watching. It's lovely to see all your comments. Emily Champion says, this reminds me of Points of View. That's very true. Glenn Johnson says, I love Mark. We want more Mark. That's what we want. Monday night is phone-in night. There we are. We'll have a phone-in every Monday, which is marvellous. Quick wrap-up, says Nigel Sadler, acting like the producer. Quick wrap-up and get off. Yes, all right, I'm going. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on Monday. Until the next time, bye-bye for now.